This is Texas Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. Last Sunday, this open-air setting was the scene of the NFL's wildest, most exciting football game. A dazzling, dizzy overtime thriller between the defending division champion St. Louis Cardinals and the supposedly rebuilding Dallas Cowboys. We say supposedly because despite the most dramatic personnel upheaval in their history, the Dallas Cowboys went into this game coming off the biggest upset in the NFL's first week of play, an 18-7 win over the highly touted Los Angeles Rams. As usual for Dallas, their famed doomsday defense was the key to victory over Los Angeles, and that's good news for Cowboy fans. That's where most of the extreme youth that dominates this team is concentrated. But youth has a way of surprising in pro football, and last Sunday in Dallas, the opponents were the more experienced team. For the first time in their history, St. Louis enjoys the solid background of a division championship, a title very much up for grabs as the St. Louis Cardinals met the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL Game of the Week. The entire first quarter of the game can be summed up in a single word: defense. Both teams went at each other with a vengeance, and both squads held the others scoreless for the first 15 minutes. Dallas quarterback Roger Staubach, operating under a heavy rush, did not complete a single pass in the first period. But Doomsday was no less impressive, particularly in shutting off Terry Metcalf. Watch as a key man in the Cowboys' young defense, number 72, Ed Too Tall Jones, sheds his blocker to stop Metcalf in his tracks. The new Doomsday defense will succeed or fail on the play of youngsters like Jones, Harvey Martin, and rookies Tom Henderson, Bob Brunig, and Randy White. But there still remains remnants of past glory, like number 55, Leroy Jordan, who in his 13th year still has the speed and quickness to hold down the vital middle linebacker position. Then, too, in the secondary is familiar Mel Renfro, number 20, determined to make his 12th season his finest. However, on the first series of the second quarter, behind strong blocking from number 72 All-Pro Dan Deerdorf, the Cardinal infantry, led by number 35 Jim Otis, marched deep into Dallas territory. Here from the Cowboy 11, Jim Hart would attempt to pass to his game breaker, Mel Gray, number 85, for a try for the game's first touchdown. But the first half was a rough half for Hart, who completed merely 2 passes for 22 yards. This wasn't one of them, as Mel Renfro narrowly missed an interception. The Big Reds settled for a 28-yard field goal from reliable Jim Bakken, the hero of their opening day victory over stubborn Atlanta, and the Cardinals broke the ice 3-0. Number 45, Roland Woolsey, one of a dozen rookies on the Cowboys, took the ensuing kickoff to the Dallas 34, where he came to an abrupt stop. Like the Cardinals, Dallas finally got their offense in gear, and this their first series of the second quarter. Staubach completed his first pass of the game, good for 12 yards, to reformed tight end Gene Fugate. The Amherst grad plays both the slot and wide receiver positions for Dallas this year. Now across the 54, the first time today, Roger found rookie running back Scott Laidlaw, number 35, all alone at the left sideline for a nice 20-yard pickup. But just when things looked brightest for the Cowboys, disaster struck. Kenny Reeves' leaping interception ended a fine Cowboy drive in the end zone. Another look at the play shows Staubach made a big pump fake right, then simply overthrew Billy Joe Dupree, who had position on Reeves in the end zone. But 4 plays later, Dallas had the ball back, and this time they wouldn't be denied. Starting at his own 23, Staubach rolled left and speared Dupree between zone coverage for 23 yards. With it 1st and 10 on their 41, Dallas was stymied by 2 Cardinal veterans on 2 successive plays. First 10-year-strong safety Kenny Reeves poured in to nail Doug Dennison. Then a fixture at linebacker, 13-year veteran Larry Stallings smelled Staubach's screen, and number 67, despite a block, made the play on Robert Newhouse. Now faced with 3rd and 16, Staubach employed Tom Landry's shotgun formation and again fired to Dupree, alone in the seam of the zone. The long pass was successful for 28 yards to the Cardinal 37. Here for the first time today, Staubach went for his ace receiver, Drew Pearson, but came up empty. An isolation replay shows why. St. Louis All-Pro cornerback Roger Worley, number 22, played Pearson perfectly and deflected the pass. But several plays later, Dallas was at the 1, and Staubach, pressured by Stallings, hit a lonely Gene Fugit in the corner of the end zone for the first touchdown of the day. Staubach made a perfunctory fake to Doug Dennison, but knew all along where he was going as Fugit hauled in the pass that put the Cowboys on top for the first time. The half ended 7-3. Where the first half belonged to the defense, the second very definitely was the property of the offense. Dallas had first possession, and Staubach came out throwing. His target again was Big Gene Fugit, who put the ball near midfield. On the next play, Staubach took a deep drop and threw long to Golden Richards. Richards paid a price for his leaping catch, but he was only momentarily incapacitated. The 41-yard bomb had brought his team to the Cards' 14. Up to now, the Cowboys' other wide receiver, Drew Pearson, had gained satisfaction from blocking only. He had yet to catch a pass. But now, after the bomb to Richards, Staubach led him perfectly in the end zone for the touchdown that increased the Cowboys' lead to 14-3. The pass seemed deceptively simple, but let's look at Pearson's precise, intricate moves that allowed him to come free. Such is the life of a pro wide receiver. For 33 minutes and 7 seconds, Drew Pearson labored obscurely as a blocker or decoy and didn't catch a single pass. But in one fell swoop, he was the center of attention. The glamour guy at a position that isn't always as glamorous as it sometimes seems. Dallas was up by 11 points now, but for the first time today, Jim Hart found the range with a 23-yard pass to number 84, rookie Ike Harris. Then, like Pearson, his Dallas counterpart, the Cardinals' ace receiver Mel Gray emerged from his cocoon to take his first pass of the day 27 yards deep into Dallas real estate. From the 23, Gray got way behind cornerback Mark Washington to take Hart's pass for St. Louis' first touchdown of the day. In a flurry of scoring, the tally rose to 14-10 in favor of Dallas, but the fireworks had only begun. Both teams had now scored touchdowns in the first 6 minutes of the second half, which continued with Staubach rolling right, opting not to pass and running for 15 yards. Quarterback Staubach had tried his hand at running, so he then gave receiver Drew Pearson a shot at throwing. Pearson proved adroit at avoiding what was actually a pass rusher and went for Golden Richards, who made an incredible catch out battling Roger Worley. Golden's glowing grab was nullified by a penalty, but an isolated look at Pearson recounts a great play by both Dallas wide receivers. Pearson went in motion left, and when Staubach lateraled to him, it looked like your everyday flanker screen. Pearson made one tackler miss, but Cardinal corner Roger Worley was not fooled, and it took a fantastic catch by Richards to finish off the exciting play. All for naught. Staubach threw the next pass, hitting tight end Billy Joe Dupree. Staubach finished the drive on the ground, first getting a good effort from Robert Newhouse that carried to the 1. Then it was up and over for Charlie Young, whose touchdown signaled the beginning of an unbelievable 36 seconds of action. Dallas now led 21-10, but the 11-point lead lasted just 16 seconds when Hart used play action, then nailed Earl Thomas on the Cardinals' first play after the kickoff. Looking at the play from ground level, we can see that Hart sidearmed the pass under number 79, Harvey Martin. And thanks to the good play action fake, Thomas found no one between himself and 6 points. It had taken the quick strike Cardinals just one play to cut the Dallas lead to 4 points again. But if you're wearing a hat, hold on to it, because Dallas didn't even have to run a play from scrimmage to reassert their 11-point lead. Rookie Roland Woolsey from Boise State bobbled the kickoff, then handed off on a planned reverse to Thomas Henderson, a rookie linebacker from Langston. Henderson chugged around the corner and then was off on a 97-yard return. Henderson's score and subsequent slam dunk finished off an incredible scoring streak that saw the score change from Dallas 14, St. Louis 10 to Dallas 28, St. Louis 17. Here's the unbelievable part. It had taken the two teams just 36 seconds to score 3 touchdowns. But just as suddenly, the game turned again, beginning with a J.V. Kane catch, a Cliff Harris wraparound, and a Randy Hughes fumble recovery. After the shot Dan Deerdorf put on him, Hughes might have had second thoughts about his heads-up play. But an isolated look reveals a fine play by the rookie from Oklahoma as he covered his man, then moved to the ball. But Hughes tasted the bitter and the sweet. He was in the right place at the right time on the fumble recovery, but in the wrong place at the wrong time for the hit. With the recovery at midfield and an 11-point lead, Dallas was in position to put the game away. But the two teams that had so ravenously gobbled up points moments before now entered a momentary famine. At the top of the fourth quarter, Dallas was first to fail. First, the Cardinals corralled the Cowboy running attack, and thanks to a fine play by number 43, Cliff Harris, Dallas did the same to the St. Louis ground game. Passing proved even more hazardous, with both teams running nearly disastrous plays. First, Hart forced one to Mel Gray and saw two Cowboys with better shots at the ball. Looking at the play from another angle, we can see that both Mark Washington and Charlie Waters, both Cowboys, had a better chance for the ball than Gray ever had. Dallas apparently has the same play in their playbook, for on the next series, Roger Staubach also saw two defenders have a better chance for the catch than his receiver. The Cowboys run the play a little differently, however. Instead of two defensive backs versus one wide receiver, their plan sets one running back against two linebackers, in this case number 57 Mark Arneson and Pete Barnes, number 59. With such hijinks going on, it was not surprising that the big play aspect of the game had been lost, and a field goal by Tony Frisch was the only score for a while, putting Dallas ahead 31-17 with 10 minutes to play. The Cardinals desperately needed a quick strike now. If any team is capable of it, St. Louis certainly is, but not this time. And so, with less than 9 minutes left, they were forced to punt, but got a tremendous break. Roland Woolsey lost the ball without being hit, and Steve Niels recovered deep in the heart of Dallas. Then the quick strike came back into the game when Hart hit tight end Jackie Smith on the very next play. The big play boys from St. Louis had done it again, and with 8.5 minutes left, trailed by just 7 points. Last season, when the Cardinals won the NFC East Division title, they had done it by making the big play time after time, both offensively and defensively. And in 1975, it seems they still have that ability. The Big Red defense rose to the occasion, and Hart immediately went for speedster Mel Gray. But this time, Mark Washington's deflection interception stopped the Cardinals, and Tony Frisch had a chance to bulge the lead to 10 points with less than 2 minutes to go. Time for another big play. Bob Rowe blocked the clincher, and Hart moved the Cardinals to the Dallas 37, then went for it all. Mel Gray, the smallest Cardinal in size, had again made the biggest play. Looking at the play again, we can see that Hart actually underthrew Gray, who was running a post pattern. The pass made him reverse direction. But when you have 9.2 speed in the 100, no matter what direction you're pointed, you get there fast. With just 46 seconds to play, the Cardinals climbed into a tie with the Cowboys, 31-31. Working from the spread, Staubach attempted to move the Cowboys to a winning field goal, but his perfect pass to Dupree was knocked away thanks to Worley's perfect timing. The force of the collision was such that both Dupree, number 89, and Worley needed attention. Unfortunately for St. Louis, All-Pro Roger Worley was unable to continue, and he would be missed. 2 passes later, Staubach spotted Pearson running free, and Dallas was 30 yards closer. With 7 seconds left, Tom Landry had Frisch try a 39-yard field goal to prevent a sudden death nail-biter in a game Dallas seemingly had locked up earlier. But it was no good. Sudden death had arrived. The Cardinals came up with yet another big play when they won the coin toss. Landry and Staubach plotted strategy for when Dallas got the ball, if they got the ball. For Hart had moved the Cardinals to the Dallas 26, but then took one chance too many. Hart's underthrown pass was easy pickings for Leroy Jordan, who returned 38 yards to the Cardinal 37. The Cowboys were formerly stocked with old pros like Jordan, but have recently been going with youth. 12 rookies are on the current roster, and the Cowboys were not supposed to be contenders for the Cardinals' one-year-old throne. But when the big play was needed, It was the old pro who came through again. Number 55, Leroy Jordan, had given Dallas a chance to win if they could score and end a game that was dripping with tension. Now it was the Cardinals bench that could only watch as Staubach moved Dallas with crisp passes, taking 10-yard bites out of the Cardinals secondary. Dallas eventually reached the 3, and with first and goal, Staubach went for Billy Joe Dupree and victory. Dallas had a 37-31 victory after almost 8 minutes of overtime, ending one of the most exciting games ever played in Texas, or anywhere for that matter.